Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm Chef Dean Max. Today we've got something really fun, chicken Alfredo. I know this is a super popular dish everywhere. Even kids like it. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned for this. Click subscribe if you're not doing that already. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video and ring that bell. And I'll keep you posted on every cool thing that I'm doing. I'll see you back in a second. Okay guys, I'm back. And I wanna get my saute pan here nice and heated up. Now chicken Alfredo is a super basic dish. I'm going to show you this. It's got we've got, here I'm putting mushrooms in it, but you don't have to put mushrooms in it. I've got some really nice mixed mushrooms here. I just saw those at the store and they were actually cheap. They were like $4.99 for these little mixed mushrooms. So it's got a little baby portobello in there. It's got a little bit of, look at these yellow oyster mushrooms. There's some shiitakes in there. So I thought that was a really good price for some simple mushrooms. We've got some flat leaf parsley, which I like to put in there. I've got garlic confit, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and parmesan and heavy cream. And that's it. We've got some chicken breasts here. Now you can see I've pounded these chicken breasts flat. And why did I do that? Because I want this to cook quick. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of oil. Whoops. All right, I got some oil here. I actually just cranked it all out of there, right? So I'm going to let that get hot now. Now what we want to do is season this chicken up. So I'm going to season it with salt. Now one of the things I like to do, I'm definitely going to season both sides, but I'm not going to do it right now. Why? Because I don't want to get my fingers all chickened up there and then leave it on my utensil. So what I do is I just season the one side, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and take my chicken, and you can see how thin that is, right? I'm going to lay it in this pan. Whoop! It's heating up. It could go a little bit more, but I'm just going to go with it anyway. It's not going to stick in here, and we kind of do want it to stick a little bit anyway. And I want this pan to be hot. You can hear it sear there. We wanted to. Now what we want to do is go ahead and season the back side of this. So a little salt. A little pepper on that chicken. Now, this has Parmesan in there, which can be a little salty. It's not as salty as Pecorino Romano, but it's still salty. So you don't want to overly season the chicken. We'll season right now a little bit, and then in the middle if we need it, and at the end we'll make sure it's perfect then. So with this, what we're looking to do, the reason I pound that chicken really thin is because I want the chicken to cook quick. Not only that, when you pound a chicken, it changes the texture of the chicken. So what it does is it creates almost like this dense, meaty chicken feel to it. If you have a really thick chicken breast and you saute it, it can be grainy, which is fine too. They're both really nice, but whenever I'm cutting this chicken up and putting it into this chicken Alfredo pasta at the end, I like it to have this really firm but juicy texture. Now, you can see these are they're searing up in here already, right? And what we're looking to do is we're looking to get a little bit of a kind of brownness to them, a light brownness. And that little bit of flavor from the chicken sauteing in here, we're gonna deglaze this pan with some of the pasta water and pick up that flavor. So right now is what you would do is I've already dropped pasta and cooked it. But you can just drop some fettuccine, cooks for about 8 to 10 minutes. It really depends on the fettuccine you bought. Different ones have different types of wheat, so they'll take different times. So just follow the directions on there, and I would say go on the bottom number, because if it says 6 to 8 minutes to cook, go on 6 minutes. Why? Because we're going to remove that. I've just got to let it sitting here, tossing some olive oil. I've retained some of my pasta water here, and we're going to use that. And what does the pasta water do? It gives a nice starchy pasta flavor. And now I flip these. You can see I'm not putting a heavy sear on this because we're not presenting these whole where you're going to look at them and go, oh wow, look at that golden brown crust. We're cooking them quick, just searing them nicely. So they'll have a little bit of nice flavor, and they're going to give a little bit of caramelization to this pan. Now when we take these out, that's when we're going to kind of deglaze this pan, okay? So I'm going to let those cook for a second longer. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff. Now, I add garlic in. You don't have to add garlic. You can use sliced garlic, raw garlic, minced garlic. This is a product that I make. You can click up here to my top left here and click on that video how to make this garlic confit or garlic puree. And basically it's cooked garlic that I've roasted in olive oil, or not even roasted, I've poached it in olive oil for about 45 minutes. You can do that in a crock pot. It's really simple. And then you just puree it up and you have it. And I mean, this one has been, I think this one's probably 2 months old, and it's fine. I just keep fresh oil, I keep adding to the top of it. So there's always kind of a layer of oil sitting on it. And it's been cooked, so it's already done. So now this chicken is almost cooked because it's so thin, right? Because I've pounded it so thin. Now, if you had a really thick chicken breast, it would take a lot longer. So what I also do is I take that chicken out now, and I'm just going to set it on this plate to kind of cool down. And you'll see how like nicely cooked the chicken is at that point. Now, at this point, I want to throw in, I've got some beautiful, you can see these bits of chicken love on there. And we want to add a little bit of butter to this. And I know you're saying a little bit of butter. That looked like a lot of butter. Yeah, it's a quarter of a stick or a half of a stick. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to get that butter flavor, and I'm going to take these mushrooms and I'm going to add my mushrooms to this. Now, I like to deglaze this pan, particularly with I like to deglaze it with wine. So if you like wine in your fettucine Alfredo, then you can put a little white wine in there. I would put like a cheap Pinot Grigio is fine. Something dry though. And then see here, I'm going to take a little of my pasta water. Okay, and I'm going to kind of just scrape this pan, clean this pan. So we're actually cleaning the pan while we're making the dish. How great is that, right? So we're going to clean the pan like this, so we don't want any burn or dark brown flavor. We just want that little bit of chicken love. That little caramelization of the chicken on the pan like that adds so much flavor to this. But in essence, this dish is about this creamy texture of the cream and the Parmesan, and that's the real flavor. It's a real delicate dish. So what does that mean for you? It means use nice cream, or get good Parmesan is the more important part, because I use like a real Parmesan Reggiano, and it's going to make all the difference in the world. Now, in this, because this is garlic confit, I don't need to stick this garlic in the beginning and saute it and cook it. It's already been cooked. So I just take a nice, probably I'm going to take half a tablespoon, I would say. So it's a little bit, it's more than a teaspoon for sure. And that's it. So I put that in, and I'm going to let that cook in my juice there and like cook together with everything. And that paste is really nice. It's going to immediately give you this roasted garlic flavor. So I would highly suggest checking out that video. And it's just a good condiment to have in your, if you're a garlic fan, it's a good condiment to have in there. Now, you can see this like in this pan. You see how it's kind of, the bubbles are kind of thick? Why? Why is it thick? If I just added water, would it be that thick? No, I'm adding pasta water, which has got starchiness in it, right? From the pasta itself. And that's what you want to do. Now there's a lot, I mean, so many people have had bad pasta Alfredo because of the fact that it's a real popular dish. And in restaurants, a lot of the times, chefs will make this for large groups and banquets, and hotels do this all the time. They'll make a bechamel, which is, it's a flour-based cream, right? And what that does is it allows somebody, when they take flour and water or milk and they cook those together, they create the texture of cream, but it's just really water and flour, right? And then they add some cream into it, and then they put a mediocre Parmesan on there, and you just don't get the love. So a lot of times you've had pasta Alfredo, it's really thick, pasty on there. That's not right. That's got flour in it, and additional flour. The only flour that you should be getting in this is the flour starch that's coming off of the pasta from the pasta water. So in this, I've cooked this like this. Now I'm going to add in my cream, right? So I'm going to crank this up, and I'm going to put that cream in there. And I'm going to let this cream cook down for about 2 minutes. So I'll see you back in 2 minutes. Okay, guys, we're back. What we're going to do now, it's been about a couple minutes now. We're going to be ready to add in our pasta, but first we're going to put in our cheese. So you can see I've got some beautiful Parmesan here. You can tell by the label right there, the Parmesan Reggiano label. It's like the Gucci of cheese, right? And this is not a fake, so make sure you don't use any fake Gucci, all right? There, we've got this beautiful, probably a cup of nice Parmesan. Yes, it's all going to go in there. That's what it's all about, eating good. And you know what? When you eat like this is going to be healthy, healthier, I should say, than not using the right products. It's okay to use the right products. Good cheese, good cream, good butter once in a while. Everything in moderation, right? So, for all you out there who say, oh, this is not a healthy dish. I know it's not. I mean, if you're gonna, I can't see myself just eating one type of food to just look good. That's it, doesn't matter. Okay, so you can see this chicken is fully cooked and it's beautiful. I'm just taking that and julienning that like this, right? Now, if you would have cooked that any longer, it wouldn't have been right. See how perfectly cooked that is through? Now, because it's cooked, I want to leave these in strips, but maybe I'll cut them in half so the strips aren't so long, like maybe like this, okay? And this, like this. Okay, now, because it's already cooked, I'm not going to put it in here. I'm going to put my pasta in there, okay? I'm going to put the chicken in right at the end, right? Okay. Okay, perfect. So I've got my pasta in here. Now the pasta also, because I've just pulled this out of the water, and you do not drain the pasta with fresh cold water. Do not do that. Always leave the starch on the pasta. If you want to keep it from sticking together, then you put it in a bowl and you toss extra virgin olive oil on it and you kind of rotate it around, let the oil get in between the layers of starch in the pasta, and that'll keep it from sticking back together. So now at this point, what we want to do, and the reason I said take this thing out at 6 minutes, if it's a 6 to 8 minute cook time, 6 minutes rather than 8, is because we're going to cook it for 2 more minutes like now in this cream. And we're going to let the starch on the pasta and the cream come together, and it's going to create a beautiful texture. And I'm going to throw all this chicken in there as well. So we're going to add our chicken in like we've done here. Okay. I'm not worried about folding it in just yet because I don't want to cook it really much more. I want to cook it maybe 30 seconds. So I'm going to let it sit on the top there. Now here I've got parsley. Now parsley, I love parsley, and I've got some beautiful clean parsley, and I'm just going to roughly chiffonade this, which is this long thin strips when I just lay the parsley leaves down. I like Italian flat leaf parsley. Do not like curly parsley. So I'm real big against curly parsley. Curly parsley, you know, is what they used to use to decorate the buffets of the past, right? And I just can't stand it, to be honest with you. So with this, I put in a lot. I put 1 bunch of parsley in this. Now, if you're not a huge, parsley fan, leave it out completely. Don't put anything, okay? But I think it's a really nice additive. Chives are also really nice. If you're not a parsley fan, I would suggest doing a chive in there. And then I'm going to throw all of this parsley in here. Okay? And that's it. Now, we're just going to mix this up a little bit. Now I'm going to mix my chicken in because I got about 30 seconds left. Okay? You can see I want my parsley to kind of just like lightly cook in there to kind of let the flavors of that come together. And then flavor this dish, and then we're going to plate this up. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, guys, we're back. The chicken has come together here, and you know what? You can eat this just like this. I like to add more vegetables in my life too. So I put out on the grill some broccolini. The broccolini, I just tossed it, and I just put the plastic wrap on it because I wanted it to stay steamed in here. So I had some broccolini. I just put it with a little balsamic and olive oil. The balsamic has a sweetness. Rapini is a little bit bitter. You put it on the grill, it gets a char. It's like all these marriages of love, right? Sweet, charred, and that olive oil flavor and the bitterness of that. You could put some chili flakes in there if you want it spicy. So really nice condiment to this dish. I know some of you are like, I just want the chicken Alfredo, and that's fine. But if you guys want to keep adding veg into your life, that's a healthy thing to do. We can see this bubbling away. I'm going to turn it off at this point because it's done. Okay, so to plate this up, I'm going to simply take a nice ladle full of this pasta, right? Curl it up in here, put it in my pasta dish here. Look at that cream and the mushrooms. It's going to be really good. Okay. Now, one of the things, if you like a lot of black pepper in your dishes, you could simply, we'll put some more on top here, but you could have added it in to your sauce as well. Okay. And then with this, I'm just going to toss these broccolini on there, and it's rapini, I mean, in here, and then we're going to stick this on the side like that. So I'll put a little bit more cheese on the top because you can't get enough Parmesan, right? And you'll put some on there too. Beautiful. A little bit of Parmesan snow. You should definitely get a microplane if you don't have one. They're great for that kind of thing. And that's the dish. Super simple. Your favorite at home, chicken Alfredo with fettuccine, right? I mean, it's a great dish. There's no doubt about it. The simplicity of it is everything. And this is how you cook at home. Like 15 minutes, you're done. So try it out. If you'd like to give me a thumbs up, I'll see you back soon in the kitchen. I'm Chef Dean Max.